Hello and welcome back to the channel. Well, this is a rather unusual story that I am sharing with you today. We're used to sharing stories where we're talking about how the police are treating black men, women, and children, old and young. In this particular story, we are dealing with a situation that I found to be very, very disturbing, okay? Very disturbing, but what came to mind was a remark or statement that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said a long time ago. He said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." So in this story, if I remember, I will give you a link to the video, which was very, very disturbing. The video was on the Young Turks website. Their channel. That's where I saw it. But we are talking about a 73-year-old white woman who has dementia. Apparently, they claim that she was trying to steal $13 worth of merchandise from Walmart. Walmart took the items from her. And as she was trying to leave, they still had the police called. And so when the police got to the scene, they actually followed her up the road. Now, keep in mind, this woman has dementia, okay? And you can very clearly tell that there was something going on, that she was a little not there. You could tell that she was not there, okay? You know what I mean. She has dementia. You can tell that she was kind of, bothered by the situation. She kept on saying, "I'm just trying to go home. I want to go home," right? And so this young officer, he definitely escalated the situation. But what I find to be very disturbing is the fact that he threw her to the ground and he's twisting her arm up behind her back. And it is being alleged in the lawsuit that they are filing against the city, it is being alleged that he dislocated her shoulder in the process of throwing her to the ground, pushing her arm up behind her back. I never will understand that maneuver. They did the same thing recently to a 74-year-old black woman, and they broke her arm. In this case, they are stating that they dislocated this woman's shoulder. And so what are we seeing here? Let me tell you some more details about this woman. They said that she is barely 5 feet tall, somewhere around 4'11", 5 feet tall, right around 80 to 90 pounds. In other words, she ain't big as a minute. But this officer felt like this was a good thing to do. Let me echo Martin Luther King's words again. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And so, another thing that bothered me about this situation was the fact that a female officer came on the scene. And no, she didn't try to aid this very small, frail, petite, tiny woman. She didn't try to aid her. She aided her buddy, the fellow officer, who thought it was a good idea to throw a small, tiny, 73-year-old woman to the ground and twist her arm up so bad that you dislocate her shoulder. Now, I'm reporting this story as I saw it reported on the Young Turks and what I've read about it. And for me, I don't care what color she is. Now, I know a lot of people will look at that and say, "Oh, big deal." But you have to understand, this shows that there is a major problem in this country that is on the horizon. Now, we've already witnessed this for 400 years or more. Our people have already experienced it. I mean, I shared a story about when I was 4 years old, when we were living in St. Louis. As a little girl, 4 years old, I remember being thrown into a police car. There were older children playing baseball at the schoolyard, and younger children, which included myself, my sister, and some of my cousins and other kids as well. We were on the outside of the fence, just looking through the fence, watching the older kids play. It was just something to do for us, okay? And so what ended up happening was someone hit the ball. It was a baseball. They were playing baseball. Someone hit the ball. It broke one of the school windows. Apparently, I guess it must have set off an alarm or something like that. And so we don't know any better. We're just children standing there. I'm 4, so my sister must have been 5. And then my cousins, various ages of children were standing there. The police come up and they start rounding up everybody. I was 4 years old. They threw me into a police car. So, I remember one of my cousins jumped out, because there were several of us in the police car. One of my cousins jumped out of the police car and ran like crazy. And so I followed her. I said, I'm getting the heck out of here too, So I jumped my little self out of that police car and I ran like crazy, running home. And so the policing in this country is very strange. Instead of them telling all the kids, just go on home, kids, they decided to throw us all in the police car and just put so much fear in us. I remember being so afraid in those moments. But fear prepares you for fight or flight. And at age 4, it prepared me to flight. I took off running. Had nothing to do with breaking the window, but all I know is my cousin running, I'm running too. I'm out of here, And so it shows you that the problem existed a long time ago. So, as a matter of fact, it's been reported that policing used to have everything to do with slave patrol, keeping the black folk in check. And so I wanted to share this story because there is definitely a problem, an increasing problem, when you see old white women, frail and petite, tiny, ain't big as a minute, being thrown to the ground, shoulder dislocated allegedly, by officers. Especially when you have a female officer who shows up on the scene, who don't try to de-escalate anything, not there to try to assist and help the old lady, but to help her fellow comrade rough her up more. I want to know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Share your thoughts, okay? Forget about the woman's race. Think about the fact that she is 73 years old, barely 5 feet tall, and weighing between 80 and 100 pounds. Think about that part, and the fact that they felt the need to use that much aggression with this woman. And again, if I remember, I'll leave the link to the Young Turks video on this, because they will show you all of what happened to this woman. Okay, I'm done with this video. In the comment section, leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share and like this video. And with that, let me get the phone. Bye. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.